You've made it. You're watching the very first video. All right. Welcome to the Lazy Girl Money Challenge. My name is Shannon. I am the host for this challenge. If this is your first time meeting me, hello. We're about to be fast friends. Now, listen, I want to make sure you're watching the right video for you, okay? Because there's plenty of people who want to manage their money, but you just got to be at this place before I can actually help you, before these videos can actually help you. So if you're ready to stop the chaos with money and gain control over what your money is doing, you're in the right place. If you manage six figures, so this could be, through your business, you've made six figures through your business. You, have a spouse that's earning six figures now. You have a spouse that got a bump in his salary. You have a six-figure salary. You and your spouse's income combined create six figures, whether it's just you've just stepped into a new place in, your income really, and it's six figures and above. And if that's you, you're in the right place. You've done money mindset work before. So you've read books, you've taken courses, you know what money mindset work looks like, and you're open right now to changing the way you think about money and wealth. Welcome to the Lazy Girl Money Challenge. Do not listen or watch this video if you're still too frightened to look at your bank account or credit card statements. If you think right now that making more money is the solution to your money problems, this isn't for you. You think that you have zero interest in allocating, budgeting, or looking at your money. You just are not interested in that at all. This isn't for you. And you're not making enough to cover just your basic income needs right now. That's not you. This isn't for you. All right. So I want to talk to you about over the next 3 days, I'm going to be talking to you about the Lazy Girl method. Now, the Lazy Girl method is something that I have invented after I was able to pay off $25,000 of debt. I've been debt free for 2 years. My anniversary is in August. So being debt free and staying debt free is another journey in itself. I was able to save 6 months of personal and business expenses. And now I am a person who falls in love with managing their money. And I'm not terrified to look at my money anymore, which is something I never thought I would be saying. I never thought I'd be the financially responsible person. I never thought I'd be someone who has it like financially all together. I never thought I was that person, right? And now here I am. And it's after doing the Lazy Girl method. And that's what I'm going to be walking you through for the next 3 days. So after doing this method, I want you to know you are in good hands. You can take a breath. You can feel at ease that you're about to be introduced to a new way to manage your money without things feeling restricting and just really like, it's not something you can stick with. So welcome to day one. It is called the Lazy Girl Abundant Budget. All right. So I want to talk about the Lazy Girl Abundant Budget and how I came to create this Lazy Girl Abundant Budget, because I was someone who had what was almost a six-figure year. It was a $98,000 year. So I made $98,000 in my business. What I am proud to say of, though, is that I was paying myself a salary. I paid myself a pretty good salary that year. But what I did with that money wasn't the best. I ended up still having $25,000 of credit card debt. I paid off $9,500 of the business credit card debt and got right back into more credit card debt. Now, me paying off the business credit card debt and not paying off my personal credit card debt is something I'm going to talk about on the last day of the challenge and why that really played a big role in how I was able to save money now. No savings. I had no savings when I entered this $98,000 year. I purchased no assets, and I lived client payment to client payment. I was always on the hamster wheel of make more money, make more money, make more money. So if we haven't met yet, hello, my name is Shannon. I am a certified You Need a Budget coach. I sold my first business by my 30th birthday. I am a mom to two beautiful children who are the love and joy of my life. I am married to a wonderful, smart, amazing man. And I live in New Jersey and I love New Jersey. So for all of you that think New Jersey's, that's fine. You guys can stay out because it's a great place to live. FYI, okay? All right. So now let's talk about that $98,000 year. You might be thinking, well, Shannon, maybe, you didn't know where your money was going because you weren't tracking it. Oh, I was. I was even using You Need a Budget at the time. I was tracking my expenses and budgeting my money. But what was really going on is there's two reasons. There's two reasons why I was broke at six figures. Or another way I like to say it is under earning at six figures. One, I'm going to talk about passive budgeting versus zero sum budgeting. I was passive budgeting, and I'll talk about what that looks like. And two, I was making in the dark money decisions. So let's figure out if you fall in this camp of being a passive budgeter. Because plenty of my clients and students that I have met have some type of budgeting going on when they first come to me. And sometimes it looks like it's paper budgeting. They have a notebook, they have a binder, they have Excel spreadsheets also is another thing, maybe some type of budgeting app. And I was even using You Need a Budget, not in the way it was supposed to be used, but I was using You Need a Budget too. And they might still be wondering, why am I not able to get ahead of my money? Why do I always feel like my money is chaos? Why do I still have debt? Why do I have no savings? Here's usually why when a client comes to me and they're budgeting, but not able to do the things that they want to do, it's because they're doing passive budgeting. Passive budgets are focused around planning, not making informed decisions. Passive budgeting is also hoping your money works out. A passive budget looks like you come to the first of the month and you write down all of your bills and expenses. So you write down all of them, you write down how much you need in order to hit those bills and expenses. You check that budget again, or maybe you just keep track of your expenses, update the spreadsheet, update your little notebook paper every, maybe it's like every 2 weeks you update it, or maybe you don't update it. You come to the end of the month, you figure out how much you spent on everything, and then that's it. And then every single month starts it all over again. So that is different than zero sum budgeting. Let me explain to you what zero sum budgeting is so you can see the difference. So zero sum budgeting doesn't care about future money. What it really cares about, it doesn't care about hoping. It cares that every dollar you have is accounted for. They say zero sum because there should be nothing left over after you do a zero sum budget. So when you do your regular passive budgeting, you probably are just putting your expenses down on a piece of paper. You're not really accounting for those other things that happen, right? Like you're not really coming up with a category for coffee. You're not really coming up with a category for dining out. You're probably not coming up with a category for the braces that your kid's going to need in like 4 months from now. You're not coming up with a category for the vet bill that's going to happen sometime this year. You're not coming up for a category of, paying for your car insurance that happens, or car registration that happens, or, oil changes that happen, or I'm really on a car fixation right now. But what I'm saying is zero sum budgets say, I don't want any dollar left over in this budget. I want everything accounted for. I want you to account for everything that's going to happen this month. Most of us do. Here's how much money I think is coming in. Here's how much money I hope is coming in. Here's what my bills are. That's what I need to make. And then that's it. And we never account for all of the other stuff that we pay for every single month without fail. There is always, I'm going to say this always for me. There's always a DoorDash. There's always a coffee run. There's always, my kid has now outgrew that pair of sneakers. I got to run and go get them another pair. There is always we stopped at the pumpkin farm and picked up pumpkins, or we stopped at this thing and bought that thing when I was out with the kids. Or there's always I need more gas. There's always what else is there? There's always more, right? There's always something that I wouldn't include in my expenses, but were always happening, right? There's always a vet bill. There's always those are the things that we think pop up in quotes, but happen every single month or every couple months without fail, right? It's like what was it? Oh, my cats, this was one thing I thought of. So my cat has one of those trackers in her. I forget what they're called. There's like a real name for them. And they put them in your cat. So if your cat ever gets lost, they take them to a shelter and then they can figure out where you live, right? So my cat has one of those in her. And every single year without fail, it costs me around $25 to renew the membership. And every single year I never budget for it, but it pops up every single year. Now that's not something I would put on my zero sum budget because it's so small that it's not something that really knocks me over. But something like, maybe every year you have to pay for some $200 annual subscription in your business or in your personal life, you're going to want to make sure you account for that, right? So this is also about decision-making budgeting. Because a lot of times when people are doing passive budgets, it's like you start the budget at the first of the month and you don't come back to it till the end of the month. But think about it. Are you only making decisions about your money on the first of the month and the last day of the month? No, you're making decisions daily with your money. When you go to the drive-thru, when you make another client sale and money comes in, when you go and, go out for a friend's birthday, go out to dinner with friends, you're paying for, you're making decisions right there. You're making decisions when you, every day when you leave, even when you stay in your house, I was going to say when you leave your house, but every single day you're making decisions about your money, not just on the first of the month and the last of the month. And that's why zero-sum budgets are the best thing. Now, reason number 2 is in the dark money decisions. So this is for people who maybe aren't budgeting, but have an idea of their expenses. And even if you are budgeting, this still might relate. So listen up. So in the dark money decisions is when you open up the bank app on your phone, and you see, okay, you have $2,354 left in your account. You want to buy a $500 sweater. Do you have enough money to buy that $500 sweater? This is a trick question. I have no idea if you can afford that $500 sweater. You know why? Because that amount of money in your checking account is such a small piece of information. It tells me nothing about if you can actually afford that $500 sweater. But most of us open up the bank app, look at our checking account and say, yeah, sure, I can afford the $500 sweater. And then when you get to the end of the month and something else has popped up, right? Like we had our electricity bill ended up being a lot higher this month. And we're like, okay, that's a daily decision we need to make, right? But like when that happens, it's fine because we aren't just making decisions we have zero-sum budgets. We're not just making decisions based off like what's in our checking account, right? And something like that could happen after you buy the $500 sweater. And then all of a sudden it's like, I can't get ahead. And it's like, right, because you're only using such a small piece of information to actually make decisions about your money. Like what's in your checking account is like nothing. It tells me nothing about your financial future. I don't know. Do you have credit card debt? Do you have any savings? Do you have a 401k? Do you have any money invested? Do you have money that needs to go to someplace else this month? Are all of your bills covered? Is all the extra money covered? Like I have no idea what that little piece of information is telling me. And so guys, this is why I had no financial progress in that big almost six-figure year, right? I was relying upon a method of financial management that was all about hoping the next month, the next launch, the next client would be better or bigger, right? I was always hoping, and I wasn't using the money that was right in front of me to do the things I wanted to do. So this was day 1 of the Lazy Girl Money Method. I hope you have enjoyed me walking you through it. I hope you have enjoyed learning about this. Please let me know any ahas that you had. Reply back to the email and tell me what was the biggest aha you had from this. Who are you? Are you a passive budgeter? Are you zero-sum budgeter? Are you in the dark money maker? A money maker. Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you for day 2 tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed this. All right. See you on day 2. Bye, everybody.